Hi guys, I just wanted to record this really quick video because Peter had asked me to jump in on this and explain how we can use alternate objects for mobile and for desktop, and how we can really create two separate sites and why you would want to do that. The main reason is because it increases conversions. People use mobile very differently to the way they use desktop, and you should try to accommodate them for that. Now, Convertri is the best halfway house for doing this. Now, it's still not 100% perfect. I'll be completely honest, and I've spoken to Andy and Neil about this, what would make it absolutely perfect, but that's extra stuff down the line in their future development, I'm sure. But in terms of things that are available to allow us to do this kind of stuff easily ourselves, Convertri is by far and away the best thing available on the market. So this is just an example of a bonus page I'm actually putting together, and it was a good opportunity for me to show you the kind of things that I do in my mobile sites to make them perform a little bit better and get better conversions from people visiting through mobile traffic. And I'm just going to give you a couple of really easy examples here. I actually don't have an opt-in form in this page, but I do have a button that I want to put in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend I'm putting an opt-in page in it. So what we would do is we would just drag in these elements as so. So let me just do this, because this is a really good example of the kind of things that work better with mobile. Okay, let me just extend this a little bit, give me a bit more room. And I'm just going to throw a submit button in there as well. You just change the colour of that, make it stand out, so at least we can see it. Oops, wrong one. Properties is what I meant to go to. And that I'll make white. There we go, perfect. Okay, so that's your basic kind of submit form. And if we wanted to increase our conversions in our opt-ins, what I would be doing is this. Number one, I'd go over to the mobile version. As you can see, this is what it produces for you. So the first thing I do is just space things out a little differently to give it a little bit more breathing room. And make it just look a little bit nicer. Now, important for mobile, we found this through multiple split tests that we've done. People hate small entry boxes with mobile. They like them nice and big and fat. So make them as they want them. You know, resize your submit boxes, or your data entry boxes rather, to make them bigger. Because remember, people are generally using these things with their fingers. Some people use a stylus, but generally people are using them with their fingers. So I would make them, you know, a little bit deeper, make it a little bit easier for people to kind of tap into those fields. The moment you get difficulty tapping into a field, your conversions are going to drop. No doubt about it. Okay, here's the other thing. The submit button is way too small. Okay, but we're not even going to use that submit button. Here's the way that we do this. I go back to desktop here. And what we do is we select the submit button we've got there. Now, bear in mind, I've not hooked this up or anything yet, but after it's hooked up, it would work exactly the same way. All we do is hit our Alt button to copy this button. And then what I would do is I wouldn't have submit there. I would actually have tap to submit, like that. So we've created a separate button. Okay? Exactly in that way. Now what I will do, just move across so I can see. What I then do is then I hide this button from desktop view, go back into my submit button and hide that from mobile view. Okay, then when I go back to my mobile, you see I only have one button, which is tap to submit. And I'm actually going to make that an awful lot bigger. Like that. Now, the actual very best way to ensure you're getting maximum conversions on this kind of thing, it doesn't matter as much. But if we had, for example, let me go back to the desktop. If we had, for example, this wasn't an email address and it was instead a telephone field, okay? Now, what you would want to do is leave this one like this and actually have a separate form that's only for mobile. In exactly the same way, and create a whole new form for mobile. Because what you would want this mobile field to do is when it's clicked into, and this is the part that requires extra coding, and we would, I'm hopeful that at some point in the future Convertri will have this option in there, to actually have that when they click into the telephone field, instead of it opening up the QWERTY keyboard on the iPad or on the phone, it actually opens up the numeric keyboard. And that's a very simple piece of coding to actually add in there to get it to do that. But it would be great if Convertri actually had that as a standard thing. But that's just a couple of the things that you want to think about when you're talking about mobile specific sites. You definitely want separate ones. You don't want to do just a direct mobile friendly, because all that's doing then is it's kind of bastardizing your desktop site and trying to make it fit mobile. The great thing about Convertri is that you can build your separate mobile site. Yes, it's going to take you longer. Yes, it is worth it. Yes, you should be doing it because you will notice that needle move and an increase in your conversions. So I hope that very quick video helps you with a couple of things that I would do for mobile sites over and above regular sites, and hope you find it useful. Thanks. Bye-bye.